Hi everybody and welcome to SA Rugby Magazine, Money Boy and Money Man Show. Hi Yoli.
All right, how are you, Kev?
I'm living the dream. Tell me about how your week was.
Better than the previous weeks. We're still not running out of profit. I got 1 from 2. My Sharks bet came off against the Reds. I had them at plus 2.5 and they put the Reds away. So made 475 Rand off my 500 Rand Saturday morning, and then about 3 hours later lost 500
I should have listened
Rand.
to you on the Sharks bet, eh?
Yeah, and I should have stayed away from the Stormers like you did. So lost 500 Rand on the Stormers a few hours later against the Blues.
Well, in fairness, 97% of the Super Brew picks had the Stormers to win that game. So it was, that's why when people say to me, it's a sure thing, easy money. There's no such thing as a sure thing.
Yeah,
or
definitely
easy money.
not.
Yeah.
How was your weekend? Was good though.
Yeah, I had a terrible time, 3 out of 6 on Super Brew. But on betting, I had picked 2. I bet against the Lions and I bet against the Bulls.
Yeah, I remember you saying also there's a difference. People kind of have a go at you for saying that a team would win and then they bet on them and they don't. But you've made it quite outlined that there's a difference between who you bet on and who you say is going to win.
Well, I had Irish parents, so they always had a go at me. So I made it a toughest thing than just worrying about what people say. So yeah, I don't bet on every game, and this is what people ask me for advice on Chipper United versus Maritzburg. It's like, what the WTF? Why the face? I don't know Chipper United and Maritzburg United. You know, I usually only bet on games I know are going to be televised. And I was even tempted to bet on Barcelona, but I just stopped myself at the last minute, and luckily so.
Yeah.
So if something doesn't scream out to me, I've got enough experience to know that I shouldn't be playing it.
I can't imagine any of these have been screaming out to you either, though.
It's more like a distant, faint whimper.
Yeah.
Nothing really is screaming out to me. Not all the teams have been released, but we have a bit more information today on a Thursday than we did yesterday. So let's go over the games and let's chat about the Super Brew picks first, and then if there's any bets that you are going to put down.
Okay.
Sunwolves Brumbies.
Sunwolves Brumbies.
28.5 points. The Brumbies are favoured.
I think they'll cover that. I think they'll win by over between 28 to 30 points. They're not the kind of side that really puts teams away, but the Sunwolves are just pretty awful, and the match has now been relocated.
I can't even pronounce the name. Is it Walla Walla Gongo or Walla Walla?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's
Win Stadium.
Yeah.
I think the Brumbies should cover that. But then again, as is the nature of the Super Rugby, you bet on that and the Brumbies end up just kind of scraping one, It's like finding it very hard to tell.
Well, the market's been moving out radically because of the 62 and 64 points that the Sunwolves took against the Canes and the Reds, right?
Well, I see they're favoured if you bet on the Sunwolves, they're 17-1 on Sunbet, which is, significantly less than what they were previous weeks. It was usually sort of 6-1 for them to win. It's kind of almost tripled,
Yeah, and they've made sweeping changes to that team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what sweeping changes mean. It's like
because
nine bad people out and 9 worse people in. I have no idea. I mean, but opposition tended to lower their standard of play when they're playing the Sunwolves. So again, 28.5. I'll bow down to the bookies and say fair enough. I don't know enough about it. I won't be betting on that game.
Me neither.
I may be looking at Brumbies total points.
That's what I was thinking.
If it comes in with around 35, 36, considering that the Sunwolves have got the worst defense in the competition. But again, I'll only make that before kick-off if I make the bet at all.
I was thinking for most of these bets, I might look at points bets and sort of individual ones rather than outrights or handicaps, because it just seems like the bookies have it pretty much spot on. Haven't been particularly generous with any of their...
Well, the Brumbies, if they play the way they did against the Chiefs, they'll put 60 points on them.
Yeah.
But if they don't pitch up and play the way they against, I think there's only one Chiefs game in them. I mean, it was, they played flawless rugby in the first half of that game, and the Chiefs were nowhere. Eh?
Yeah.
I'll say 30 points for the Brumbies in my Super Brew. Then we go on to the Crusaders and the Reds. 23.5 points, Crusaders favoured against the Reds team.
Yeah, I mean the Reds losing James O'Connor is a big blow, I think, in terms of and attacking in terms of ability to kind of put points on the board, I've got the Crusaders here at 32-14. So what does that work out at?
32-14 the score.
Yeah.
18
points. Yeah, I'm not sure if they'll put more than 20 past them, but we'll see again. I don't know. The Sharks ended up putting 33 points past them last week, but the Reds aren't a bad side. Like you said before, you're even sort of potentially going to tip them to beat the Sharks at home. I don't think you did bet on that, but they're tough. That's tough to say with them.
Yeah, they've got a decent coach, and but it's 1-4.
Yeah.
And the one wins against the Sunwolves. I don't know. I mean, the Crusaders are a pretty good, solid outfit.
Yeah.
Again, I don't like the bet, but from a Super Brew point of view, I'll probably go Crusaders minus Crusaders by 25.
Okay.
You're going Crusaders by 18?
Yeah.
Okay. The Waratahs versus the Chiefs.
I reckon Chiefs by 20.
Yeah, I mean, the Crusaders couldn't beat them by 20. The Crusaders couldn't beat the Waratahs by 20, so, they beat them by, I think, 18 points.
5 injuries, though.
Oh, yes, they've got
Curtly
5
Beale
injuries.
out.
No,
Curtly Beale's captain, yeah.
Simmons is out.
Simmons out, yeah.
Nagawaga, whatever his name's not playing.
Bad one.
Yeah. His first name, Mark. Last name, Nugget, we're going to play for them anymore. And 3 other guys. So they've got 3 debutants in that game, the Waratahs.
Chiefs are also a team that just sort of kind of seems to gain strength throughout a game. The Waratahs, especially with those kind of injuries, I think could just see themselves fading, maybe putting up a good 40 minutes and then dying out.
Well, the thing I like to, if I'm going to have a bet, probably I may be conservative and get around the minus 6.5 and look at a 60% return for the Chiefs, because after last week's, I mean, Gatland must have thrown more than a hairdryer in that change room after the game, because they were bloody god awful against.
Yeah, they were awful.
Yeah. So I do like the Chiefs to bounce back and put on a good display. I'm going to go Chiefs. I'm going to go Chiefs by 12.
Okay.
And I'll probably be putting a bet down on them to win by 7 or more.
Okay. So a bit more conservative.
Yeah, a bit more conservative. I'll probably pay around 65 cents on the rand.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you going to go? Are you going to go by 10?
I'm going to go by 20.
20.
I think the Chiefs will.
That's
Chiefs will
ballsy.
put them away. Yeah.
For a guy whose balls hasn't dropped. Hurricanes Blues.
Tough one again, because the Hurricanes initially I didn't think were a great side, and then when the Stormers put them away, I didn't really think they had much promise for the season, but they seem to be sort of putting in good performances.
Well, they
Blues,
beat the Jaguars, who are a good outfit.
Yeah, beat
Sharks,
the Sharks.
And of course the Sunwolves.
Yeah, pumped the Sunwolves.
Yeah.
The Blues again also didn't look great, but have now won 3 from 3 on the road. I still think the Hurricanes will win. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, but probably quite close. So I've got the Hurricanes by 6 points here, them 37-31. So I think it'll be a lot of tries, but I think they'll kind of edge them by 1.
Yeah, it's a game I'll stay well clear of.
Yeah.
6.5 is a beautiful handicap, and bookies have got this one spot on.
Yeah.
The Blues, the 2 losses came against the Chiefs and the Crusaders, so not disgraceful to lose to those teams. And beating the Stormers the way that they did, bit of poor form, just beating the Bulls by 2. On Super Brew, I'll probably say the Hurricanes by 5.
Yeah.
What, you?
7.
7, okay.
So sort of we're around the mark with the...
Yeah, so you think that they
bookies.
won't? You think they will? I think they won't cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think they will, but again, not one I'll be betting on. Maybe a total points,
Yeah.
but I have to think on that one.
And then we have the Rebels versus the Lions.
Yeah, I had the Rebels as quite comfortable winners, and then I was chatting to my dad, and he said he doesn't think they're good enough to kind of put the Lions away. I had them
Your
20.
dad went 2 for 7 last, 2 for
Yeah, I
6
mean, he's on
last week.
54%, so
Yeah.
I don't know. He feels strongly about it though. But this is a Rebel side that's unchanged for the first time since 2015.
Yeah. Do you always listen to your dad?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I'm doing better than him, even though I'm
Yeah.
not doing well. So
Yeah.
I've got the Rebels 27-10 against the Lions. I don't know. I think they can score 27 points. I think it's more just about whether the Lions can actually maybe get a third try in that would take the differential a little bit lower. But I mean, the Lions don't offer much for me. The Rebels don't offer much, but again, they were impressive against the Highlanders,
yeah.
you know, and it wasn't necessarily just the Highlanders being poor. I thought the Rebels looked good.
Yeah, and they lost against a good Sharks team, and you know
Yeah.
before that they beat the Brumbies, the Waratahs. So, and I think that they're putting out the same side, it's the same run on team as last week. So,
Yeah.
a bit of consistency. So I like the Rebels in this one to win by 5 or more. I'll probably go for another conservative bet.
Yeah.
But I think that the Lions are just terrible. Hey?
Yeah, pretty much. There's nothing really there.
There's nothing really to get excited about with
Yeah.
the Lions, and it is a glorified varsity cup team with a couple of sprinklings of box.
Yeah, or even a few of the old Bucks are now getting. I think Yanni Duplessis got dropped for last week's game completely, like not even on the bench, you know. So
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah, look, it's two pretty bad teams, but I'm gonna have to go with the Rebels to win by 10 or more.
you're not going to bet on that.
I am,
Are you?
but by 5 or more.
5,
You know,
okay.
I'm going to go conservative this weekend. Look, this is the toughest. I was chatting to James and Mark yesterday about how tough the season is with the amount of players that have left and people stepping up. 2 teams winning in Australia for the first time in 6 years.
Yeah.
It's more competitive this year, with the exception of the Sunwolves, who poxed to win in the first round against the Rebels. But I like the Rebels to do the business on Saturday.
It's been interesting for me though, because I struggled a lot with soccer, not knowing soccer, and then just the quality of all the sides, you know, and their ability to knock each other over, sort of regardless. And then kind of thought I'd get a bit of a break coming into Super Rugby based on, you know, how the World Cup seemed pretty straightforward in terms of betting. And then it seems to be a case now of teams sort of just being equally poor and equally unpredictable, and that's what makes the betting so unpredictable. In the soccer, it's like the teams are equally good and equally unpredictable, you know. You kind of end up in the same situation where be these sort of results that really go against what's expected.
Yeah, well, and the form's just not there right now in terms of being able to pick. So the only teams that the Lions and the Rebels have played that are similar is the Waratahs.
Yeah.
The Rebels beat them by 14 and the Lions lost to them by 12. So on that form alone, you'd have to really fancy the Rebels to put one over on the Lions.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 10 on my Super Brew. I have 10 for the Rebels.
I'm going to go between 12 to 20.
12 to 20.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big range to
Yeah.
go. I mean,
Well,
get off the fence.
17.
I don't think there's a 12 to 20 range on the Super Brew one.
17.
Okay, 17. Attaboy. Sharks Jaguars, the game of the week for
Yeah,
me, without
definitely.
a shadow of a doubt.
Again, probably not one I'm going to bet on because I reckon the 4.5 points that the bookies have given them.
Well, the money's
spot on.
coming in for the Sharks for sure. Hey?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. I think it started off 3.5.
Okay.
So they're drifting in further for favourites.
Yeah, I think there'll be a try in it.
Yeah, it's this one I'm vacillating on. I'm vacillating on incredibly hard because I just don't. The Jaguars, depending on the team's pretty good that they put out. Sharks, I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I
No,
might
me
look for
neither.
some value in a low-scoring game here because
Yeah.
the Sharks never really have high-scoring games in Durban.
No one ever has high-scoring games in Durban. I think
Yeah.
it's just the nature of that.
Well, 23-15 against the Bulls, it was
Yeah.
pretty turgid affair.
Yeah, that wasn't a great game.
So I might look for penalties. I might look for penalties over 4, and I might look for a low-scoring game there. But if I had to make a pick, I'm probably going to go Sharks by 3.
I've got Sharks by 2. I've got 1917 as my sort of predicted.
Yeah. So you predicted a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. I think you're spot on there. And then the last game is the Bulls versus the Highlanders. I compared this game to 2 gym socks that you'd want to smell. And the worst of smell, who could pick the worst smelling gym sock? And I can't, it's just, how do you pick it? So let's try and pick the worst smelling gym sock here, Bulls or Highlanders?
Well, I think the Highlanders might actually offer decent value on a bet out of all of these games, just because the Bulls have been favoured, but I don't think they're good enough to beat them by more than, 3.5 points?
So 4 or more, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I might take the Highlanders at plus 4.5. They return like 1.8, I think, on that.
Yeah, it's again, if I had to pick, which I do on Super Brew, I'd go with the Highlanders 1 point and look for, did I get a bonus point if the Bulls win by 1 to 4 points, Because again, it just could go either way. But out of the worst two sides, the Highlanders are the least worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Similar to the Blues-Bulls affair. Well, that was pre the Blues then coming to Cape Town, but they looked equally awful in beating the Bulls.
Yeah, they did, hey? But I imagine, yeah, they did. So what's your Super Brew pick?
I'm going to say Highlanders by 6.
Highlanders by 6?
Yeah, but conservatively for the bet, take them at plus 4.5. In case the Bulls, I don't know, have to now win one out of the...
Yeah, I'm going to go Highlanders by 1 point. And so again, you're betting on which games this week?
Bulls, definitely. Might look at a total points for the Brumbies game. Mm-hmm. Might look at a total points for the Hurricanes Blues game. And then still undecided about the Sharks Jags. I think the Sharks are yet to announce their side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think probably the only outright one will be the only handicap one I'll make will be on the Highlanders.
Okay. Well, I wish you the best of luck, and hopefully you can have another profitable weekend. When was your last profitable weekend?
I think last year.
When Moses led the people to the promised land?
October 2nd.
Okay. You even remember it. Okay, well, I wish you the best of luck, bud, and
thanks, Kev.
Have a great weekend.
Too.